Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. Today we're going to do the Forex market wrap and just going to go through the few major currency pairs of the week, see how they've performed, what's really happened this week and what we could be looking out for next week. So just starting with the major Euro-US dollar pair. We've seen the market just completely break through those daily lows and this weekly level of support, and it looks to me like there could be some continuation to the downside. Would like to see a nice lower low, lower close form here. That would give me a bit more confidence in order to look for that pullback, that continuation trade into this key support zone where we may see a little bit of upside to the market. But essentially, we've got a few different options to be aware of. We've got the continuation of the move down, okay, just into this zone next week, or we're going to have to wait for the market to pull down, pull back in, look for those short triggers again, and look for that continuation down to this key support. But this monthly low here is really something that I expect the market to target. Now we're starting to see these lower low, lower highs being formed. I expect that to continue all the way down into this point on Euro US dollar. Aussie USD, looking at the weekly time frame, we are now at that monthly support. It looks like we're just hanging around here at the moment. The daily is just retesting that low through there. We looked to short this yesterday. We didn't get triggered, unfortunately, but what we looked at was the fact that the market formed this bearish rejection of these lows. So what I was expecting was a price to come back down into this support area, which happened, but just didn't get our fill in on there. Unfortunately, the market is now at this support, so it's always asking ourselves the question, are we going to break, are we going to bounce? So if we break out, I expect to see the pullback and continuation move. The next support level sits around about 6,340s. I had to go onto the monthly to really find a support level underneath here, and the support is back in 2009. So that is quite interesting to see. That low there is our kind of next support area. So what we could expect to see is another push down following that sort of monthly pattern towards this key low in here if we do get that breakdown. So expecting to see some more downside here as well. It just depends whether this level holds first. We could get a slight pullback, then a breakthrough, or just that clean break and continuation. But everything's pointing south at the moment for the Australian dollar, so we could see that continuation form. Okay, Kiwi is very much the same. I'm just going to be watching this weekly time frame, how these weekly closes form, because they're going to give us those insights. Last week was bearish. That continued into this week. We are breaking through another support zone here, so if we get a close below, we could see another continued drop here in Kiwi all the way down to these weekly lows, but I would look for any kind of weekly setup. So if we do get a continuation, I'd expect to see a nice downtrend on the 4-hour continue, which is kind of what we've seen this week. Or if we get any kind of bullish weekly candle next week, then there could be a chance to obviously ride that momentum to the upside. The only thing I have with this is that, the dollar is fairly strong throughout presidential years, so that was give me a little bit more of an inkling that the price is going to continue down. Did look for the bounce here this week, but unfortunately that didn't play out. There was a real nice bullish engulfing candle. Price came down, triggered us in, but didn't see that upside. Price has just fallen through. So looking at this daily now, you can see there's a potential for this market to just come back, test these lows in here, continue that downtrend. Okay, dollar CAD is at an interesting level, coming up into these big weekly highs through there. Are we going to break, are we going to bounce? Always ask ourselves that question. Looking for the bounce here in particular, but obviously the dollar is still strong at the moment, so it's going to take something special to again look for another shorting opportunity here. Tried shorting this low, market didn't even test it, just continued to the upside. So we're at this resistance level. Typically we do look for that bounce, but if it does break through, then there could be a potential further upside here on dollar CAD. But I would like to see this trade back within this overall larger range, which is down here. Can we see that potential move to the downside? Because there'll be a lot of opportunities if that was the case, very similar to what we had here. Double top, then we broke through, just saw that trend continue down. So those are the kind of major keys, currencies that I'm watching at the moment. I hope you enjoyed this video update, and thanks for the comments this week. We like pushing out that sort of educational side of things, so we'll continue to do that next week, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a good weekend.